All right, today my guests are Anna Eckman and Amelia Bagstad. Welcome to Northwestern Voices. And hopefully we'll be able to work through all of our technical issues here. So I was saying just before we started, this is kind of like a house of cards because you guys are the first pair of guests that we've had together. So we're dealing with a bunch of different technical issues, and Caleb has been working very diligently to make sure that those all come through, and we appreciate that. So you guys have succeeded academically because you're the co-valedictorians of Park Rapids High School. So congratulations. You've done it. So when you're the valedictorian, does that mean that you guys had like an identical GPA, or how do they actually determine like who the valedictorian is going to be?
Well, I think it's just every trimester you get A's or A minuses, so we just got all A's every single trimester. Okay. So it was basically just coming down to the wire on you guys is like which one of you is going to blink first and get that A minus, and then she'll be out, kind of.
Yeah. Pretty much.
This is sort of like one of those like survival shows or something like that where it's the last person standing, but in this case it's just like the clock stopped and you're both standing, so you both win basically, right? So neither one of you has ever gotten an A minus. Is that fair to say?
Well, I have gotten an A minus in Spanish.
Me too, in Spanish.
Oh, okay. All right. So you both got an A minus in something in that. Okay. So
yeah.
But nobody got an A in Spanish that got A's in everything else, right? Otherwise they'd be the valedictorian.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, that's a great accomplishment. So how, like, what kind of I don't know, like, what advice would you give to people who are wanting to get their grades like that? I mean, it's basically perfection, what you've done there. Does it have to do with like course selection or study habits or just being naturally talented and gifted, or what? Oh, and by the way, before you answer that question, I'm just going to identify you guys. Anna, you're the one wearing the blue shirt.
Yes.
And
hi.
Amelia is in the sort of flamingo colored shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just so we have that straight. So now go ahead. Either one of you can answer the question.
I think it's just about not procrastinating, because after a while it really becomes a lot, and you should really get your homework done on time.
Right.
Because it's mostly participation.
So staying on top of your...
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, like, care about how you want to do and study for your tests and get all your work done.
So you said it's about caring about how you do, or caring about sort of like what you're doing?
Like what and how you do.
Okay. But how is it possible to care about trigonometry?
Yeah, that one's sort of hard.
Yeah,
but...
Trigo's not fun.
Okay.
No,
But I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like a potentially, I mean,
yeah.
you can't tell me that you guys are both like super interested in every subject, right?
No.
So how do you get through the sort of like the grindy parts of this kind of academic success?
Well, you just gotta sort of do it, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I just rule myself when I'm doing hard math problems. I'm like, okay, if you do 3 math problems, you can have a piece of candy.
Yeah.
Okay, little
Yeah.
rewards. Yeah. Do you guys like, you know, gamify anything, like, you know, try to like say, okay, well, if I do, you know, kind of like what you said, like if I do 3, I'll get a reward or something, or do your teachers do any of that kind of stuff, like little competitions or anything like that amongst? No.
Not really.
So you kind of have to self-motivate, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get any motivation from external sources?
Yeah. My brother was the valedictorian last year, so then I was like, I should probably do that too.
Anything you can do, I can do.
Yeah,
better,
I was
right?
like, I gotta be better than you, Nolan.
Okay, so Nolan Eckman is your brother?
Yeah.
Okay. And who are your parents?
Dan and Jennifer Eckman.
All right. And who are your parents?
Lance and Anita Bagstad.
Okay. So Anna, you are a golfer, right? Okay, so tell us a little bit about your golf career here at Park Rapids, and it's golf season's about to start now, isn't it?
Yeah, we've gotten 3 meets in so far this year.
Okay.
Which has been really good.
Yeah.
It's been really fun so far. Some bad weather, but otherwise it's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I moved to Park Rapids when I was a freshman, so I've only been here for 4 years.
Where'd you move from?
Painesville, Minnesota,
Okay.
down by St. Cloud. And I've been golfing ever since I was like 3 years old, so I've been really playing for a long time.
Really? Since you were 3?
Yeah, my dad got me into it. He's really into golf. So kind of just grew up doing it. And then I'd be competing with my brother too, which is really what kind of got me good, because I just wanted to beat him.
So what kind of what kind of competitions are you in for high school or outside of high school?
Tomorrow we have a meet actually at Headwaters. Which should be good. Some good competition there. But outside of high school, I just kind of do like the junior PGA tour, and there's some other just random ones, like the Birchmont up in Bemidji is a really fun one that I do. That's my favorite one that I do, just because it's a little different. And then this year I'm also doing one in South Dakota for my school. It's like a Sanford junior, I don't know, they're all like junior am title something.
Yeah.
I don't know, they have some crazy names.
Are you a scratch golfer?
Not quite. I'm getting close though.
Yeah.
Yeah, my handicap's 2.5 right now, I think.
Okay.
So getting close, but not quite there.
Yeah. And where do you stack up? I mean, like, are you usually winning these competitions or coming close to them?
Yeah, usually pretty close. I got at state last year. I got 4th place in AA.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the year before that, 3rd place, and then my freshman year I got 5th place. So it's kind of been around that middle area there.
So this year, then it's got to be 2nd or 1st place, right?
Yeah, I'm
Just
hoping.
to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, gonna give it my all. So we'll see.
Trent Wilcox works here too. If you know him or not, and he actually won the state senior amateur tour, or not tour, but the tournament in 2019. I asked him all kinds of questions about golf and things like that. But what do you think is the most important quality that a golfer can have?
I would say just not getting frustrated, because golf rounds, especially in high school, they get really long, like 5 to 6 hours sometimes. So if you're on the first hole and you get frustrated right away, it really makes it not a fun time. And your game will get really bad after that if you get frustrated right away.
Yeah. Do you agree with that, Amelia?
Yeah, I do.
Are you on the golf team as well?
Yeah, except I'm not that good.
Well, okay. I wouldn't say not that good, maybe, but you're working on it, right?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
So not getting frustrated, that's a skill that would serve you well, I think, in not just in golf but in life, right? When you have setbacks and things like that, to not get discouraged and all that. What about like mental focus? Like, Amelia, when you're playing golf, like how do you kind of keep all the distractions out and and concentrate on the shot that you're taking, or just kind of assessing the situation that you're in?
Well, normally I'm somewhere in the trees, so I have to like find the right spot to hit it through, and I don't know, I just see what maybe I can hit, try not to hit a tree.
How do you not get frustrated if you're off in the rough?
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do?
I do.
So if you worked on your frustration a little bit, then your game might improve a little bit too. Okay. But you enjoy playing golf?
Yeah, it's super fun.
Okay. And swimming is also a sport of yours?
Yep, I'm in swimming.
Okay. Is that kind of your main sport, or would you?
Well, I'm in swimming, basketball, and golf.
Okay. So what of those three would you consider to be sort of your main sport or your favorite sport?
Well, I sort of think swimming's my favorite sport, but basketball is probably my main sport, because I do it. Well, I did it all summer. Yeah. And then all winter, which is like 5-month season. So that was probably the one I played the most.
What position did you play?
I was like a wing.
So you're the person who kind of like gets fed the alley-oops from the backcourt, and you just come in and slam it down.
Yeah, totally.
Or you're the guy you're the person who kind of does the little stutter step kind of juke them out of their shorts and then step back and take the fadeaway.
Yeah,
and
that's me.
Nail the shot. Yeah. Have you been watching the Timberwolves at all?
No, I actually don't really watch the NBA that much.
They've won 5 straight playoff games. The only reason I'm asking, and I think the guy on their team, Anthony Edwards, I think plays that same position, or it's either the 2 or the 3. So, what do you like about basketball?
I like my team because that's where I've met most of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So we've just been together for a long time, since 3rd grade.
Okay.
So.
Do you consider yourself to be sort of a leader on the team?
Yeah, a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, they say that leadership has a lot to do with improving, like, the morale of the people who are, who you are leading. What kind of things or what kind of tips or advice would you have if you're trying to do something like that? Like getting people's spirits up a little bit.
Well, I would say, obviously don't be mean to other people or start drama on the team. That's just not fun.
Okay.
And just have a good attitude going into it. Mm-hmm. And because if one person has a bad attitude, then the rest of them just follow, and then everyone's in a bad attitude.
Mm-hmm. So don't be mean. Don't criticize, condemn, and complain, right? Because if somebody comes up to me and starts yelling, screaming at me and says a whole bunch of mean things to me, the first thing I'm thinking is not like, well, gee, they're making a lot of good points. You know, I had a... First thing I'm thinking is like, I'm not going to listen to this jerk. Or else even get worse feeling worse about it. So, because the point is that you're trying to get, because on a team sport especially, you need to have everybody on the same level.
Yeah.
And those are good qualities to have, I think, when you get out into the real world too. So I think you can learn a lot from sports. All right, so Anna, you are going to study data science at Augustana University in South Dakota.
Yes.
Okay, what is data science?
So data science it's kind of a mix between mathematics and computer science.
Okay.
And it's basically getting a set of data from whatever. It's usually from companies, and you plug it into a computer model, and you just tell companies or anything to make things more efficient. And then you kind of, that's kind of what it really is.
Does this have anything to do with AI or anything like that?
AI sometimes helps with the computer modeling and stuff, but mostly it's like, I think it's brain power. I don't know. I haven't really done much of it yet, but that's what I've been told.
So what kind of career would a person with a data science major expect to have when you graduate on a 4-year degree?
They become data scientists.
Okay.
Usually they're just...
Who hires the data scientists, I should say? What kind of companies are...
Pretty much any company. Usually larger companies will have them more because it's just like trying to make the companies more efficient, more cheap.
Okay. So it's for like internal operations and things like that. So it doesn't have anything to do with like marketing or advertising or anything like that.
Well, it's like you get your advertising numbers back, like how many people clicked on your website and the reasons why. And the data scientist will kind of organize all that data and make it usable, basically.
Make suggestions to leadership and stuff like that. Okay. So, how did you become interested in that?
I went on a tour actually to SDSU with my brother when I was, I think, a junior or a sophomore. And there was a guy there that was really excited about this whole data science thing. And because before I knew I kind of wanted to do something in math, but there's not a ton of math-based careers out there besides like math teachers and the stuff like
engineering.
That. Yeah. My brother's going to be an engineer. I didn't really want to do that. But, so he kind of talked me into it there. And then I found there's not a ton of programs for it. SDSU has one, and then Augustana is the other one in South Dakota that has a data science program. Okay.
So one of you chose SDSU and the other one of you chose Augustana, both in South Dakota. What Minnesota schools aren't good enough for you guys, or what? Why did you choose South Dakota?
Well, I just really like the area right there. Brookings is a really nice town and a nice community.
Is that in eastern or western South Dakota?
It's in eastern.
Eastern, okay.
Yeah.
And they also have the Jackrabbits there, which is a pretty good football team, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and so you will be studying aviation, which is a very, well, you think it's a very practical career because aviation means flying airplanes, doesn't it? Okay. What attracted you to that?
Well, there's a couple pilots in our family. My brother actually went to SDSU for aviation.
Okay.
And
is he a pilot now?
Yeah, he is.
Uh-huh.
And my dad is a pilot.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
And my mom.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And my
You guys
grandpa.
could just do like you could each have your own plane and do a flyover at like the Twins game or something like that. Be interesting. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and just my grandpa too.
Okay, so you've got a family history of aviators. That's really cool. Okay. So, I mean, obviously, you know, flying a plane is not the same thing as like working in an office building or something like that.
No.
There's a little bit of risk or danger involved in flying an airplane. Is there not?
I mean, it's pretty safe, actually.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, it's sort of dangerous, I guess.
So is that something that attracts you, or is that something that you just kind of see as sort of like, you know, it's just part of being a pilot that you have to accept that sort of risk? Yeah.
It's sort of just being part of it, and you get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're the one controlling it, so it's like you're in control.
Yeah.
You're not making the danger unless you do something.
Yeah. Well, and then there's that other little, you know, pesky stuff called weather that can.
Yeah, true. There's weather.
So what would be your ideal position as a pilot, I guess, when all is said and done, as far as your education's concerned?
Well, I'm not really sure yet.
Okay. All right. Well, you don't have to commit to anything.
I'm still thinking about that.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, but I mean, like a commercial pilot, or are you, you know, any idea of going into the military or anything like that?
Probably not the military, but
okay.
Maybe I'll go into the airlines for a little bit and do something like that. See if I like it or not.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. So now I'm going to ping pong back. So I asked you why you wanted to go to SDSU. You said you like the area of Brookings and stuff like that. So why are you choosing Augustana?
I'm choosing Augustana because I'm going to play on the golf team there, but that's not the only reason. I really loved the campus, and I'm kind of excited to move to Sioux Falls because I've never lived in Sioux Falls isn't a huge town.
What's the population there?
I don't know.
Is it bigger than Fargo?
I don't think so.
Maybe roughly the same size
same
as Fargo?
size.
Like maybe 100,000, 125, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to live in a little bit bigger of a city. And then the campus is like in the city, but touched my mic there, sorry.
It's okay.
But it's kind of like all by itself. It's just the square blocks, and it's really beautiful there, I think.
Yeah.
They have some outdoor classrooms that I thought were really cool. And they also have a lot of study abroad stuff because they do like a J-term part where it's like the January you take one class. And I kind of wanted to study abroad doing that. And they have some really good stuff for that.
Okay. All right. And so aside from, you know, being in golf and data science and you're obviously in aviation and you know, the various sports that you do, what else are your guys' hobbies or interests that you have now?
I like to water ski and go fishing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to be on the boat.
Yeah. Water ski, like they have that water skiing team or something here.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever considered doing something like that, or?
My brother was on it.
Was he?
Yeah, he really enjoyed it, but that's not really my thing. I just like doing it for fun.
Okay.
Because I'm not very good, but I still like doing it.
Yeah. What about either of you guys do any kind of musical things or anything like that? You sing or
no.
play the guitar or anything like that? No.
Not really. No.
Okay.
Not really.
All right. So I asked you about academic skills before, kind of your study habits and how you do it, and basically you said you kind of just grind it out, put your nose to the grindstone, and just do the things that are, even though things that aren't enjoyable, you just kind of get through it and maybe give yourself a little reward here and there. One of the things that I think is equally as important as academic skills, and when it comes to success and going forward in life and stuff like that, is your people skills. Have you ever put any thought into developing people skills, or is it just sort of like a natural thing that would come to you?
I feel like going to a public high school really helps because you meet all sorts of people there and interact with people. And it really does help to build social skills. Because when I came here as a freshman, I was not very good with my people skills.
No?
But now I'm better at it.
What did you do to improve?
I started talking to people. Like when I was a freshman, I talked to nobody because it was the COVID year.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, I did my own thing. But now I talk to more people.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I think you just learn it as you go along.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk to people.
How do you deal with a really sort of difficult person?
Like, what do you mean?
Like somebody doesn't want to do what you want them to do.
You know, some people are just like that. You just gotta be like, okay, you do your thing, I'll do my thing.
Just like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So I wouldn't bother them. I'd be like, go ahead.
You got it.
Do your thing.
Okay. So all right, let me ask you. This is going to be probably the toughest question or series of questions that I'll ask. So before we get to the last part here. But so there's a I don't know if this is just from time immemorial that older people have always said that younger people are different and it's not just the way it used to be and all that other stuff. And you know, this generation and has been criticized just like other younger generations have been criticized by older generations as being sort of like, well, let's just say in this one in particular, they say it's a generation of like social media, video games, people lacking interpersonal skills, Instagram, sort of like this false reality or reality that's only set up on social media accounts and stuff like that. You think that's a fair? Well, number one, is that a fair criticism? And two, what are some of like the positive qualities of your generation that you think people are missing?
I mean, yeah, we do have the social media stuff, but I also feel like a lot of older people, like older than us, like they don't realize that we don't just sit on our phones all day. We do talk to people and social skills. Like if you come into the lunchroom at lunch for our high school, it's not like everyone is sitting there on their little phones.
Yeah,
we're having conversations. We're actually doing stuff.
So people who say that are wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not totally wrong, because I do like to scroll on my phone, but it's not the only thing we do.
We talk sometimes.
Yeah. Have you ever text with people who are in the same room?
If it's like a secret, I guess. Only if I have to. Or like you're supposed to be quiet and I need to tell them something.
Okay. I mean, and you know, like you hear about all these stories about bullying and social media and all that other stuff. Do you see that happening kind of at the high school or?
No, I don't really see it.
Anything like that, or heard stories about it, or you know, anything of that nature? So do people, you know, like people have their Instagram accounts and stuff like that? I mean, you know, it can be sort of like a competition where some people are kind of elevated and other people are kind of put down. Do you see any of that sort of thing happening?
No, I feel like not really in our school, because maybe in bigger schools where there's a lot more people. Yeah. But in our school, it's like small, and I don't know. I don't think people really care anyway.
Because I think we've just grown up with it for so long that it's just, now it's normal. And
yeah.
Okay. And so, I mean, I understand that you do have some interpersonal. I mean, you mentioned that you know, if you go to the cafeteria or something like that, you're going to see people talking to each other. But like, what are some of like the real positive things about this generation, this class that you guys could share?
Good question. Like as a high school or like?
Well, I mean, as a high school or just sort of as an age group, really.
I feel like we've been really adaptable to change, like coming up through high school with the COVID and everything. You just kind of had to accept what was going on and move on with your life and figure out how to do everything. So I think our age group is really good with stuff like that.
Being adaptable.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that too, about COVID-19 and, you know, that obviously you guys were, was it freshmen when that all happened? So you were just coming into your freshman year?
Yeah.
So describe that experience and sort of how you think that had an impact on your career as high school students.
Well, our freshman year, I think we started off like hybrid, where half would go one day and half would go the other day.
Okay.
So it was like sort of boring because half your classes were gone, and then there were half the people in the school, so then you didn't see your friends, so it was sort of sad in a way because you didn't see your friends.
Yeah.
Couldn't really talk to anyone because you had a mask on. And
Sure.
so it was sort of depressing, actually.
Did the masking have a psychological effect on you guys at all, do you think? Or
Yeah. Well, I moved here my freshman year, and I never saw any of these people without masks on. And then when you guys took your masks off the next year, I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, you're uglier than I thought. No, just kidding.
No. I was like, oh, you look different than I thought.
Yeah. But do you think that it caused people to kind of, I don't know, like become more reclusive or introverted or anything like that? Or do you think it had the opposite effect or no effect?
I mean, maybe in a way because they were by themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe they felt alone or something. But, yeah, I don't know.
Did you guys feel worried about the world at that time? Or sort of like...
a little bit. I was a little worried.
Yeah.
That's good too. But I really liked that we didn't have to go to school on Fridays that year.
Yeah, that was
nice.
nice.
We only had 4-day school weeks, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Kind of missed that, but.
And you probably were able to talk to your friends, just not in person and stuff like that. Well, I guess your situation's different because you just moved here and so you were kind of like the new girl then coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little weird because the hybrid days I only met half the people.
Yeah.
So I was like, when all the new people came back, I was like, oh. Who are all of you guys? How's it going? So
this is, what you went through, being the new girl coming in, like, even in COVID or not, that's sort of a challenge that everybody has to face several times in their life, when you go to college. I mean, of course, when you're a freshman, everybody's new, but if you show up to work your first day, like you're the new person and stuff like that. So what was your kind of mental approach to coming into a new situation and, kind of learning how to make friends and stuff like that?
At first, I was really angry about it. I was really angry at my parents
Uh-huh.
because they made me move. But now I'm kind of glad about it because I've experienced it before. So now I'm less nervous to go to college and all new stuff like that. But my approach was just kind of like talk to everyone if I could. Again, I was really shy my freshman year, so I really didn't. But after a while, once I joined sports, like joining activities was really big with that because then you spend more time with those people. Like joining basketball and joining golf really helped to really get through that.
So join things, meet people through clubs and programs and stuff like that. And okay. Just getting back to COVID briefly, Amelia, do you think that the quality of your education because of the interruption of COVID was lower, higher, or about the same as it had been in previous years?
I think it was lower because teachers, you were turning things online. Were they really looking at it?
Yeah.
You weren't in class with the teacher half the time. So it's hard to do stuff when you're not seeing them.
Yeah. But yet you were resilient and you made it through and continued to get good grades. And I think that's actually a really good point that about people who went through school in the COVID years is that it taught you how to deal with major disruptions because life's not always going to be smooth sailing. And, not a lot of people went through an experience like that. I dare say it might be like one of the first generations ever that actually had to have school interrupted in that way over the years. And they say that, depending on how you dealt with it, it could have a serious impact on the rest of your lives. But it seems like you guys have found a way to turn lemons into lemonade, it seems, right? So that's a really good positive thing about your generation, your age group. Are you optimistic about the future as you sit here today?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really excited about the future because going to college opens a whole new world of opportunities. So they say. I don't know. I guess
you're looking forward to college and moving out of the home and everything like that?
Yeah.
Same for you, yeah. Okay. And I suppose like living on your own and stuff like that, you don't have any I don't know, fears or anxieties about that? Are you going to have roommates when you get to college?
Yeah.
Stay in the dorms and all of that? Okay. You have any idea who they are?
Yeah, I know who mine is.
Okay.
I don't find mine out till July, so I still have a while.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because like I remember when I went to college that like they send you the person's name and where they're from, but that's all they tell you. So you know, you don't really know anything until you show up there. I mean, the person could be nice and normal, or they could be somebody that's hard to deal with. But again, in life, sometimes we have to, you know, deal with people who are difficult. That's, you know, partially why I was asking you guys on your people skills, because getting a bad roommate can be a problem, but it's just nothing that you guys can't overcome, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
Okay, I'm going to ask you each these same questions. So I'll start with Anna.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, favorite, like, music?
I really like the band ABBA.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's something we have in common. I like
Nice.
ABBA a lot, too.
Nice.
Yeah. They have a lot of really good songs, and they're good singers.
They are really good singers.
And you can dance to their music. I don't dance personally, but if one were inclined to dance, I mean, it is
to
dance
an ABBA
music.
song.
Yeah. Take a Chance on Me is a great song. You know that song?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know that song.
It's really catchy, and it's great to play in your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing it on the way over here, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah. No,
that song? Yeah.
That song, yeah.
Yeah. Especially, you know, like on a nice sunny day, at the windows rolled down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
Just
know.
like today.
Yeah. I almost want to start singing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Okay, favorite movie?
Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can. That's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And he's like the con man or something.
Yeah, the con man.
What do you like about that movie?
Well, I like that it's based off a true story. I mean,
yeah.
And that that actually happened is kind of crazy.
I think that guy actually went on to do consulting or something.
Yeah, with the government.
Mm-hmm.
So now he catches people that do check fraud, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's right. That was like the check kiting and writing a check and then paying it off with another checking account and back and forth. Okay. Yeah, it was a good movie. I remember seeing it in the movie theaters like a long time ago. That's an older movie too. It's probably made before you were born, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Probably, yeah. Now that I'm thinking of it. Because, yeah, you guys, okay, so it's 2024, so you guys were born in like 96 or something like that? No.
2006.
Whoa. Wow. Okay, man, I'm not the math I'm not going to be a data scientist, okay? Yeah, that's amazing. You guys are born in 2006. Whoa, okay. Favorite book?
The Martian.
The Martian. Okay, now that's the book where I read that book. That's the book where the guy is stranded on Mars, and then he has to kind of sustain himself by doing like potato growing and all of that. And
such a good book. I recommend to anyone.
What did you like about it?
Well, it was kind of the first sci-fi book that I ever read, and I really.
Well, that's not a sci-fi. Well, I guess
kind of,
yeah.
But like realistic sci-fi. But I just kind of liked the story of him surviving and putting the little bits of science in there, and how I just really liked it for some reason. I read it like 7 times now.
Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
Is it Matt Damon in that?
Matt Damon, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the book is better than the movie, I think, in that case.
Yeah,
right?
they leave out a whole big part in the movies, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they can't usually cram it all into it, so it's usually is the case that the book is better. Although sometimes it's not, but most of the time it is. What do you see yourself doing in 10 years?
Hopefully I'll be a data scientist if all works out. I think I'll be living in the Midwest. I'll probably get a dog. I really
what kind
like
of dog?
Dogs. I want an English Cocker Spaniel, the little ones, or a lab, because I have a yellow lab right now, and she's so sweet.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get another lab.
Great breeds. Yep. Okay. Now, let's go to Amelia. Ask you the same questions. What's your favorite music?
I'd say country.
Country? Mm-hmm. Any kind of country or just...
Yeah, any kind of country.
Older, newer?
Both.
Both. Okay. Favorite movie?
White Chicks.
White Chicks. Wow. Another blast. So you guys like old movies. Because that one probably came out in, like, definitely before you were born, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so like White Chicks is a movie where it's like, is it like Damon Wayans or somebody like that? Is they're like dressed, or they like put the
they like get dressed as a girl.
Yeah, they get dressed as girls and they walk
they play the two twins.
Okay, yeah.
Because they don't want to get them taken or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just super funny.
Okay, all right. That is. I mean, I've seen that movie, but it's been a long time. I'm gonna have to watch that again to remind myself, because like that's a really obscure movie. Okay. But you know what though, I tend to agree with you guys. I don't think they make better movies nowadays than they used to.
No,
I think the older movies are much, much better. Favorite book?
I'd say the Magic Treehouse books.
The Magic Tree,
like all of them.
So who wrote those? I'm not familiar with those. I don't know who wrote them,
but there's like a whole big series.
Okay.
And there's a Magic Treehouse in the woods, and they like go in there, and then they travel back in time to all these different places. Oh. And like do a little adventure there. Like
historical.
Yeah, it's sort of like that.
Okay. And are these like sort of like young adult books, or?
No, they're like probably.
Like little kid books.
Yeah, sort of little kid books. But they're like chapter books, but they're really small.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Say that again? The
Magic Treehouse.
Magic Treehouse. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then what about you? What do you see yourself doing in 10 years?
Being a pilot for something somewhere. Living in a house, maybe with a family, married, maybe have a kid, a dog.
Yeah. What kind of dog do you want?
A black lab.
A black lab. Okay. You know, there is a place you guys should check out. There's it's called, I think, Whispering Pines. It's in Malacca. If you want to look at some really nice labs when you get older. They're not cheap, so you probably have to be a pilot and a data scientist before you can get them, but go down into Whispering Pines Labs in Malacca. They're like the nicest dogs I've ever seen. And the guy has them like the guy just, I don't know what he does, but you walk into the kennel and the dogs are like all standing at attention. Not a peep is coming. You could hear a pin drop in there, the way he's got these dogs. But okay, so as we wrap things up here, I'm just going to ask you each, Anna, what is your best memory of Park Rapids?
Last year for golf, we brought the whole golf team to state for the first time since like 1983, and it was so much fun to going down there as a team.
Where was it?
The state's at Ridges at Sand Creek down in Jordan, Minnesota.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was just a really, really fun time, and even like the section tournament leading up to that was awesome too, because we were kind of like, are we gonna go to state? Are we not? Because we had some pretty equal competition. And we really, the second day of sections, we really pulled it off. We had like 3 personal records and...
Oh, great.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite memory.
Okay, Amelia?
This is hard because there's a lot of them.
Uh-huh.
But I would say last year, second try, I had a study hall with most of my friends, and we just talked most of the hour. It was super fun to be. Just that hour. It was good. Being
with friends, socializing with friends in school and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So overall, are you pleased with your experience as high school students in Park Rapids?
Yes.
Now, you both are going away to college, but any chance that you guys might eventually make it back to this area to live?
I mean, maybe I'll have a cabin somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe not in Park Rapids, but maybe like in the area.
Yeah.
In the area.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we hope that you would consider doing that, because you're both like obviously great young women and just, you know, outstanding students and citizens, people, and all of that. And I want to wish you both just the greatest luck that you can have. And I know that you'll be successful, just because I'm listening to you guys talk about just how you approach life, people skills, study skills, everything else, being in sports and everything like that. You guys are going to have no problems. And this is why you're the co-valedictorians of Park Rapids High School. So you are set up for success, and thanks for coming on the show. And when you become famous people later in life, okay, please don't forget us here, because we could use some high profile guests on the show at some place or at some point. Okay, so
thank you.
All
right, thanks for coming.
Thanks.